This is lesson 1.2a, Solving Linear Equations, specifically formatted for the Algebra 1 Student Companion. In your Algebra 1 Student Companion, open up to lesson 1.2, Solving Linear Equations. Pause, and underneath the lesson title, write your I can statement, which is create and solve linear equations with one variable. This is the learning standard you are being assessed over in this section. Before we do any of the first few examples in lesson 1.2, we're going to do a couple practice problems first. So turn to page 12 of your student companion. We're going to review solving two-step equations. So in your student companion, look at number 5, and we are going to solve this equation. When we are solving equations, our task is to get our variable, which is in this example as a b, alone and by itself. We have two sides of the equation that is separated by an equal sign. That's why you typically see teachers draw a line down the middle of the equal sign to help us visualize the two sides of the equation. Again, I want to get this variable b by itself. Right now it has a 4 in front of it, followed by a plus 14 to the right of it. When we are solving equations, we work through our order of operations backwards. Remember, our order of operations are as our PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, and we like to start at the bottom and work our way backwards when we are solving equations using our opposite operations. Take these notes with me out to the side. So here we're going to start by undoing the plus 14 because we start undoing addition or subtraction first, and the opposite of addition is subtraction. And I'm going to do that to both sides. So positive 14 minus 14 adds to be 0. What is 22 minus 14? Use your calculator. That's 8. Now I'm going to bring down what I have left, which is that positive 4b. I right now have 4b equals 8. The 4 and the b are right next to each other, which means that secretly multiplication is happening between them. And that is the operation we will need to undo. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 4 because that is the opposite of multiplying by 4. And I want to do that on both sides as well. All I'm left with now is our variable b, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we just solve this equation and b equals 2 using opposite operations. Let's do another example. We're doing number 6. Negative 6k minus 3 equals 39. We want to separate our equation by the equal sign, and we want to work through our order of operations backwards. I see that I have this minus 3, so that's going to be the first thing I do the opposite of. The opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 39 plus 3 is 42. And I want to bring down my minus 6k. Notice that that is a negative 6k, and we keep it there. We don't forget it. Now, again, using our opposite operations, that 6 and the k are right next to each other, which means they're being multiplied. And the opposite thing to undo multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by negative 6 on both sides. I divide by this whole term, not just the number, not just the 6, the digit, but the actual number, negative 6. Those will divide to be 1. We're left with our variable k, and 42 divided by negative 6 is negative 7. Let's do one more example. In this, we have parentheses. And we need to remember that parentheses means we are multiplying. So we are multiplying negative 2 times 3 and negative 2 times 2x. Pay attention, that is as a negative 2 that is being multiplied. So I'm going to distribute that negative 2. I'll bring down my 15. I haven't done anything with it yet. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times this negative 2x, and negative times a negative is a positive. So that is a positive 4x, draw my line, equals 46. Notice that the negative times a negative was a positive. From here we can work to solve. But right now I see that I have 15 minus 6 on my left-hand side of the equation. I know what 15 minus 6 is. That's 9. I can combine those alike terms. Then I have 9 plus 4x equals 46. I'm doing everything one step at a time, one line at a time. Now I'm ready to do my opposite operations. I cannot work with this 4x yet because I still have this 9 here that I need to undo. The opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, bring down my 4x, bring down my equal sign. 46 minus 9 is 37. And now I'm ready to use division on both sides to find out that x actually equals 9.25. That decimal is okay. Totally okay. Again, we're using our opposite operations. Look on the next page at problem number 12. It's an error analysis problem. I want you to pause and read through the work that this student did and see if you can find the error. Did you find it? Well, we want to know the correct solution. So let's work out to the side and try to find down below that correct solution. I'm going to rewrite the problem. You should do that too. 4 equals negative 2 times x minus 3. And let's work to solve it. The easiest way to find someone's mistake is try to work it out yourself and see where it's different, especially if you know that this is wrong. I'm going to draw my line, bring down my 4. I see that I have a negative 2 out in front of these parentheses. That means that I want to distribute, which means use multiplication. So I'm going to multiply, and I'll have negative 2x, and then negative 2 multiply times negative 3. Oh, that's a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So let's see right here. Did they have that? No, they had a negative. That's where they messed up. They said negative 2 times negative 3. They said negative 2 times negative 3 equals positive 6. And that's just wrong. Negative 2 times negative 3. Oh, I said that backwards. Sorry, you guys. They said negative 6. That's wrong. It does equal positive 6. That's correct. My bad. Got a little tongue-tied. Anyway, let's go back into solving our equation. Now we have 4 equals negative 2x plus 6. We're going to use some opposite operations, subtract 6, because we always undo the addition or subtraction first. That's going to add to be 0. 4 minus 6 is 2. Negative 2. Did you catch that? Because you have 4, if you take away 6, you're adding negative 2. Bring down my negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2, because that is the number in front of the x. Negative 2 divided by negative 2, and negative divided by negative is a positive 1. You don't need to be strong at mental math to do these type of solving equations. Use your calculator. Whip it out. What's negative 2 divided by negative 2? Double check it. Positive 1. Always use that calculator to double check.